Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018 Career Mode Episode 64. Good chance that we will wrap up the current season within this episode. There are 3 one-day classic races remaining. Veldeman and Van Hemelen go into this as among the favorites, but we've got some World Tour teams here. And it's not looking like a terribly easy one, and it's a classic. It's a cobbled classic. Veldeman is great. Van Hemelen is pretty decent in this discipline, but outside that, I lack team support. So, while some type of result is not completely out of question, you can see Garrison, Simpson, Van Ginneken, all those guys, their fitness has completely fallen off here at the end of the season, and they're done for. So, not expecting too much from this race. We'll hope for a little bit more in the last two. There's one cobbled section early, but otherwise at about the midpoint we have 8 cobbled sections to the end, and that's where things are going to get a bit more exciting, and that's where we'll jump in at. Alright, so we're at times 4 speed here. We've got 110k to go. We are coming up on the first of those 8 cobbled sections that we're going to be hitting again and again. The same one will be 3 of the 4 times that we go through. But as it's somewhat downhill, it shouldn't be too bad. You've got the one time, the shorter sections where you've got a little bit of uphill, and those could do some damage. But here's the uphill now. We're on the hill at the moment. Let's go ahead and bring it on down as we prepare. And there's been so much pace in the peloton all race long. It suddenly just went out. So right ahead of this cobbled section, the teams are actually backing off a bit. It's 3.5 kilometers long, and it's a 4-star cobbled section, so this will not be easy. Avigné Le Sec, I'm not very good at my French, so apologize if I completely butchered that, but here we go. By the way, one thing I like about Pro Cycling Manager 2019 is there is far less of this glitchy stuff that you got so much this season and in past seasons of Pro Cycling Manager. So if you're looking at which one to get, the subtle improvements, the more I play both back and forth, the more I notice.
We're already at the halfway stage.
Simpson, what happened? You were protecting Van Ginneken?
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that
Was it Van Ginneken?
given that the pack has increased in
No.
speed. A fall just took place in the pack. Several riders are on the ground.
Okay, the second section. Bouchain Mustang. Just a 1-star, 1.5k, so it's shorter. Alright, so Peloton already starting to see some riders hurting and off the back, and a lot of dirt on the backs of the riders here. While we ride through a cobbled section here, it's not classified, it's not in the game, they didn't get it included. So they treat that like a flat section, and you can see just how messed up this race is. It's all over the place. Alright, it's 109 riders. We're going to be heading into that next one here in the next little bit. See a lot of overlap of the road. Just doesn't fit. 1.8k, 1 star. Quick and easy one. Here we go. Right through it. Next one, 2.2k, 3 stars for this one. This one could do some damage again to the field. Swerble is just about done. Oof, look how slow he is compared to these guys. You run out of energy on these cobbles and you go back fast. Now Swerble was protecting Van Hemlen, so Bull's going to take over that task. And Swerble now dropped. Peloton's down to 78. You can see they're still right there though. We've still got a little ways till that next one. 2.5 minutes to the break. They might not be easy to catch at this point. The break's got a decent chance of staying away. Simpson's also very nearly done on this one. Garrison's very nearly done. So there's plenty of pace that just on the flat, it's doing damage to the riders.
An attack is launched.
Garrison was protecting Veldeman, and that's the leader. So actually what we need to do is we're going to need to take... What do we have left? Just the 4 guys that are stronger. So Van Ginneken needs to protect Veldeman. Bull's already on Van Hemlen. Simpson and Garrison are done. They're sliding backwards. Bull making his way up through the field. There's the gap back to Swerble. It's 92 riders in the peloton. It did come back together a little bit.
A rider is down.
Now here we go. That 4-star section. This is going to do some real damage. And I'll definitely be down to just these 4 riders here in a little bit.
So it's important to be well positioned to avoid falls or breaks in the peloton.
Harrison going backwards.
Really should pay more attention to their choice of tires. Oh, the list of those left behind.
Big split there. Van Ginneken and Van Hemlen are... No, Veldeman was struggling. He's recovered. Peloton just 50 riders as we come out of it. 49 now. 45 at the full exit. So 45 riders. Van Ginneken technically hanging in there. Veldeman, Van Hemlen both fresh. Bull, he's got a little bit left in the tank. Of course we have that other section coming up here in just a little bit. Speed back up until we hit it. There you go. Slow down. It's not going to be long, so we'll be in and out of this pretty quick. But without recovery, you can see riders like Van Ginneken continue to get dropped here. There's another 3, 4, 5 riders kind of hanging on. 42 now. Quite a ways until that next one. This should be classified. They can't get it in there. They can't get it right. There you go. Van Ginneken has been dropped. We've got 3 riders left on the front, and it's 41. And they are 45 seconds behind the lead rider who left the rest of the break behind. They'll definitely get caught this time through. Veldeman and Van Hemlen look like they'll be strong enough to get through and be able to be involved in some sort of sprint to the end with the last 25 or 30 riders that survived this last time. Eight riders on the front are back together. Riders giving chase. Van Ginneken is in that group. Oh, they made contact. It looked like they were still a ways back, but they've made contact. 68 now as we caught the break as well. So, comes together with the front, comes together from behind. Van Ginniken's going to move up to protect Veldeman. It's a full 2 minutes to the next group, but they are closing in, so there's not much pace in the lead group right now. Everybody's kind of trying to force somebody else to take up the reins. And so we see a new breakaway trying to form right now.
Some riders were not giving it their all and sharing the pace.
Martinez, Barbier, Magnuson, O'Donnell, Perez, Alfredo. Johan Alfredo trying to attack. I like the timing of the acceleration, but I don't want it to be a breakaway. So hopefully we're able to keep these guys in check. Just that little acceleration, Van Ginniken already going backwards. And here we go.
Riders run enormous risk of injury on cobbled sections, but as the saying goes, it's the historic races that make the rider and not the other way around. There's a breakaway!
Alright, Van Ginniken's done. He's going to get dropped. See those splits coming pretty quick. Bowl is nearly done.
There's another rider with a puncture. The sides of the road are not a tire's best friend. One of the motorcyclists...
28 riders now.
Apparently, he didn't interfere with the race.
26. Okay, Van Hemlen is going to take over protection duties on Veldeman. As big difference in terms of sprint capability between those two. And sees Bowl hanging on for now. Just 25 riders here, but you can see another split about to happen as we enter this next one. So we're gonna be down to about 18 riders. And see, Bowl is dropped. So 18 riders, 12K to the end. One rider left off the front, 48 seconds ahead. Oh, it's Nicky Terpstra. Whew, that's not going to be an easy catch. And with only two, I don't have a team of guys that I can send forward. Gowden, Alfredo. Alvin Nassen, Peter Sagan. Got some big names here. It's over a minute to Terpstra now. Nobody's chasing hard enough. It looks like he might win this thing. I'd rather fight for second than chase him back and end up in 10th or 12th or 14th or 15th. It looks like that's the case for everybody else because nobody is chasing him down. His gap is growing. Okay, here we go. Big acceleration. That's going like this. Take that acceleration, go with it. Bringing Van Hemlen forward. It's still 4K though, so I don't want to go too hard too soon. Just get to the front. We're fighting for second here. 3K. Okay, 99.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind. Well, nobody can dispute that win.
And Veldeman for the sprint. He takes the wrong way. He's going to get third, though. He'll get third, not second. Terpstra does take the win. Oliver Nassen wins the sprint, but then Veldeman for third place. Good result for us. Van Hemlen takes seventh as well to add to it. And yeah, that was nice. Happy with that result. Here comes Case Bowl. 20 is still available, so he's in the fight for that and had nothing left to sprint. He was out of energy, so he finishes 23rd. So a third and a seventh. Not a bad result at all. Nicky Terpstra hits the brake and stays away. No organization in the chase. And so he takes the victory. 50K to go here in Paris Tour, our penultimate race of the season. Breakaway group of just 5 riders. You can see they're now starting to attack each other as the field has gotten a bit closer. First 2 riders are dropped. We've got Go, we've got Buani still going, and Champion. Buani, real surprised to be in a breakaway as Nasser Rouhani is a sprinter, not a baroudeur, and certainly not a puncher, even though he likes to punch people in the face. But that's another story that if you know cycling, you certainly know that one. The one man who has made it off the front, who took Buani in tow, is Champion. Apparently he wants to be champion of the break today, but the others trying to come back at him. And once again, we have 5 riders. And with them attacking each other, they're back out to a minute 10 as they've pulled away from the field a little bit. Meanwhile, I have my sprint-worthy team again for this one. We've got a little uphill section right here that these guys are on. You can see there's not much to it. And after that, there's 2 more closer to the finish that are definitely steeper than what they just went up. So there will be some damage to the field, and that is, let's see, we have 32K to go right now. So the flat will take us to about 16K, and then you've got the dip, and that's it's going to be between about 6 and 9K out are where those 2 climbs are going to be back to back and rather short this time. Go has gone off the front. And this time they are under a minute as the field gets a bit closer. Bax on his 90 is actually struggling to hold his position, so the field is really stepping up the pace here with 27K to go. Lotto NL Jumbo has shown up with Grunewagen, Damar, Ackerman's here, Nassen, Laporte, there's quite a few strong sprinters in this one, so this is not going to be an easy finish for us, but with 20K to go, let's get back to the field, and actually there they are. We just pulled those guys in as we switch back to our riders, and you can see they're starting to get a little bit fatigued. Now, Garrison's going to be the first to go, so we're going to use his gel right now before we form up. And we're going to slow it down. 15K to go. This is the right time to set these guys up. Now, Gouillard we keep trying for, and on his day, he's the best, but because his resistance is only a 63, and his acceleration also left wanting a little bit, never quite doing what you hope he would do. Now, Bax has got a -3 today, so we're going to go Marini for the sprint actual, and Bax struggling a bit, so his sprint is unaffected, but his resistance is. Case Bowl, and get again, Wachtendorf, and finally Garrison at the front. Garrison's well back, so he better get up there quickly before my whole team just drops down the order and then has to fight to get through for 4 or 5K. And speaking of, there's 4 guys, and then there's Bax caught behind 2 riders here, and now there's a little window. Can he get forward? Still can't get forward. We're already hitting the first uphill, and I still haven't got my team into its proper place yet.
We've just learned of a fall. Let's hope that all riders will get up quickly.
It's amazing how the position of one single rider can damage you that much. I still only have these 4 guys up here. There's Bax, there's Marini, there's Gouillard. Well off the pace, Gouillard's dropped. No, he's regained contact. Marini still hasn't made it through. Wachtendorf in a good position. We're down to 8K. This is already that last climb. I really wanted to be putting the herding on here, and instead we've got a peloton of 36 and Alfredo leading out and putting us in the hurt instead. Okay, 6K to go. And Bax, Marini, they're all tired. Look at that. We have no energy left. Bull is kind of the only guy as we're coming up on... Oh, this is going to be rough. Bull's getting us out there. But Bax and Marini and Gouillard are all done. So Bull going to give his lead out now. 2K to go. Bax, go, go, go. Wow, those guys are long gone. Look at them. Ugh, everybody's out of energy. That little uphill section just demolished my team. We're going to get a top 10 here, but that's it. Denny Van Poppel takes it. He was out of energy, too. At the end, Hofstetter takes second. Sam Bennett, third. Grunewagen all the way down in ninth. Bax takes 10th. Marini, 11th. So we do get into the top 10, only just. That was rough. Those guys were a lot stronger in terms of resistance. If we had the resistance, we would have been fine, but we didn't. And that little double uphill, the second one, just destroyed my team. And then, of course, the other factor that hurt was the second half of my sprint train getting caught on the back end of the group. So positioning really matters, and we could not get the right position. At least we get a top 10, but and we did that without any riders among the favored for the top 10. So can't complain too much, but just one race left in the season now. We've selected the following highlights for you. One to go. That was an objective, by the way. And that top 10 is not going to look so good on that objective, I'm sure, unless the objective was top 10, but I'm not even worried about it because it does not matter. We're locked in anyway. Last race of the year, time trial, 48K. Interesting final race for us. Final race of the season, Wim Veldeman getting ready to set off with a 69 time trial rating, and we're going to try him at a 76 here and see how that does as a pace. So you can see a bit of undulation here initially, and then it really flattens out quite a bit. Not much climbing to do till the end. You can see there's a little bit at the midpoint. There's no checkpoints here, so it's really hard to tell how we're doing. This is 5 degrees, so at the moment it's not just time trial rating, but we're looking at mountain rating. For Veldeman, that's not so good, so he's probably going to be well down on time, hence him going first, and Conchi being our last guy out on track. Now, I do not have any favorites, according to the media, so no favorites at all from my team. So cracking the top 10 apparently would be a big accomplishment for us. Going times 2 here on speed just because, well, now times 4 because there's not much going on, and I'm really using Veldeman to test if a 76 is the right amount of push, which is kind of standard for a time trial, especially when you go full time trial and not prologue. Prologues you could push a bit harder. Shorter distance, obviously. Veldeman, though, in a bit of a deficit here on a 76, so I don't think 76 is going to cut it. We're going to have to back off a little bit here. He's still got 24K to go. Anything 30K and above is 100% time trial and not using your prologue rating. For Veldeman, it doesn't matter. Today, he's on a -1 for prologue, meaning it'd be a 69 either way. Prologue or time trial, it replaces your flat rating, which for Veldman, he's got a good flat rating, so this is actually kind of hurting him. But meanwhile, Simpson is getting ready to set out, and we're going to set him to a 75 and see how that goes long term. Veldeman here on the 74 has not made up for what he lost yet, and has a little uphill section, so I'm actually kind of thinking a 74 might be the way to go. After the initial 2 climbs, I think you've got to attack those climbs at least a little bit. So maybe we start 76 and then drop to 74 with Simpson and see how that goes. We need to back off all the way down to a 70. He is catching Mering not in front of him, but okay, he's over the top, so we're going to back off to a 73 and let's see how that does. 76 initially, 73 from there. There you go, Feldman just about recovered. There's that way. 1K banner, he's got 2.5 to go from here. Wow, he's still right on the edge, isn't he? He's running out. 1K from the finish. No attack for him. 4th place, though, for now. For now. Big gaps between them. I mean, we're looking at 5 minutes down to 20th right now. Simpson 73. Seems to be working pretty well. Osorio is going to be out there pretty soon. We're going to speed things back up until Osorio is ready to come. And testing that 73 still. 73 is holding, and it looks like it's going to give him a little bit of oomph at the end. So I think a 73 is probably good. I like the 76 initially for the first double climb. And actually for Osorio, I want to go 77 because that'll get into his hill rating. 78. Be bold. Okay, 74 for Simpson. Speed it up. First climb. There we go. Second climb. And he goes over the top, so we need to back off. 73 now. Simpson. Passing Manson. Good for him. He's kind of holding firm, I think, on this 74. Let's make sure he's got a little bit left. That final 5K, so let's go back down to 73 here. Sorio's still in deficit, but it does look like he's gaining. Okay, now we can back up to 74. 3K to go. Attacks the final corner. He runs out of energy just before the end, starts backing off, but 11th place. Feldman 6th. Osorio has nearly made up that deficit. And his time trial only a 67, so he's pretty slow here. Actually, that's better than his flat rating by quite a bit, so for him, it's kind of fast. Now, Garrison, not so good on climbs, but better on time trial, so we're going to go for more of a steady pace for him, and that means a 74, as long as he can hold it. Oh, Lamarck passing Osorio. Lamarck's going to have a good time. It's going to put him up the order quite a bit. Veldman's still inside the top 10 for now. Not in a position to try to speed up with Osorio. He's just not a good time trialist. Final 2K. Start the acceleration. Nothing left to accelerate with. He gets into the top 10 though. That climbing worked for him. Feldman 8th, Osorio 9th, Simpson 16th. They've all got good placings right now. There's a lot of riders still left to go. Garrison, we've been holding that 74, and you can see he's been kind of right about level with it throughout. Here comes Bull. Bull is a much better time trialist than Mountain Climber, so we'll do the same for him, 74. Garrison getting passed by Chevrier. Lamarck went second fastest. I told you he was really moving. Garrison just right about level. I think I need to back off to 73 for a little bit just so we can see the end. Now, as much as he just got passed by Chevrier, he is catching up to the rider who was in front of him. So Garrison's not going to have a bad time. Attacks the end. 25th fastest, slowest I've had, but only a few spots lower than Simpson. Conchi going to be up soon. We'll slow down for him. He is our hope. And Bull doing good. He's gaining on the guy in front of him, and he's got a little bit in the bag. Okay, now Conchi, good for both. He's going to be good on the climb. He's going to be good on the time trial. I want to attack the climb a little bit. We'll go 76 through the climbs. So a lot of time could be had there. That's Nasser Bouani. 15k to go, and Bull is just about to pass him up. And Bull's got that little bit more in the tank than the other guys have had, so I'm really liking that. He's left him behind. Conchi looking good. He's through the first climb without really any sort of deficit thanks to that high mountain rating. Bull working on catching up to the next guy, Cardi. Right now, my highest placement is Veldeman, who has slipped to 15th. Osorio still one spot behind him in 16th. Even though there are 34 seconds between the pair. That's a huge gap for still no one coming in between them in the standings. Bull getting closer to the finish. He's got that little bit in the tank, which I'm really happy about. Here comes around the final corner. We're going to get that acceleration. Can he pass Cardi before the line? Oh, yes, he does. 11th. 11th quickest at a minute 56. Now 12th. Whoever was behind him couldn't pass him, but they got awfully close and they went faster. Okay, that 76 was too strong. We needed to back off 74. I forgot to back off after the climbs. That's not a good thing. But Conchi definitely is going to be on a good time right now. And just dropping to 74 for a little while, you can see he's already almost net neutral here. Still a little tired though. Slow down some. Final 7K. He still hasn't really gotten back to a neutral standpoint. I don't want him to lose speed at the end. He's number 101. There's still quite a few riders behind him. He's coming up on the finish and he's almost out. He's almost out of energy in that corner. Yep, no acceleration. He drops off right at the end. Second, 2 seconds down. That's a really good time. That should be at top 10. That'll be at top 10. So Conchi will crack the top 10. How high will he be? Well, let's follow these guys. 6th for Roberge. These are all the favorites. Lamertink. 3rd. Ooh. Cataneo went through. Calmajon's well behind, so I don't think Calmajon will be putting in a better time. But Conchi's in 3rd now. 10th. Ooh. Vertgen. Last 4 riders. 2nd fastest there, Thomas Scully. Definitely one of the favorites, and he's in the lead. Bookboom is the favorite. And then Magnuson. 4th for him. Magnussen takes the win. But where are we? Conchi, 8th place. Okay, so we did squeeze our way into the top 10. So only one rider who raced before us finished ahead of us. We were second when we crossed the line. But the last 10 riders, 6 of them, went to the top of the standings. So that's a good showing in our final race of the season. We're definitely not dominant in time trial. We're not bad either, but Conchi, good result. Just 2 seconds off Marriott. That was that one rider that I was talking about that went before, and he only went a little while before. Lamartine filled in behind. Lamarck, Craddock all went earlier. Finney went earlier, much earlier. Chris Hamilton all the way down here, 2:54. There's Calmejean. Yeah, so it's Kim Magnussen, Thomas Scully, and Mattia Cataneo are the top 3. They're the only ones inside a minute. Quick note, Ian Garrison just signed a couple days ago with Team Illuminate, so he finally has himself a contract for next season. And that's it. That was our final race of the year. We're going to check the final standings here in just a second. I will move the calendar up to January 1st in preparation for the new season off camera, and then we'll get an introduction to the season and then get into that first race within the next episode. Prize money, a whole 200. Sponsors, very, very happy, but not mattering as we're going over to Nabob anyway. Finances are very, very happy. Somebody checked the bank account and went, phew, okay. Good job, guys. So some final results here. Not a whole lot of victories this season as we went up against a lot of World Tour guys over and over again and just had steady results consistently all the time. Osorio with 1 victory. Van Hemlen leaves the team. Sadly, I would love to keep him. But as a Barador, the paycheck that he wanted, we could not come up with. He'll do well elsewhere at some point, but he only earned 171 points this season. But Osorio in the top 25. Veldeman takes 4 victories on the season and finishes 3rd in the Continental rankings, just shy of 1,000 points. Sjord Bax takes 1 victory and 13th in the rankings. Nicola Conchi took 8th there. He had 3 victories this season and finished 5th in the Continental rankings. Nicolas Marini, who was our sprinter for most of the year before Bax leveled up and surpassed him. Marini had 2 victories, finishing in 11th. Vervecchi, 2 victories, finished in 9th. Fabrice Gouillard, who leveled up multiple times over the last couple of seasons, is now a 72. He came to us as, like a 64, 65, maybe a 66 at best, and he's already a 72. And he's our best pure speed sprinter, but with that resistance and acceleration, he's got some work to do, but another level or 2, and he'll definitely be our guy. He was 55th in the rankings this year. Keegan Swerble, 1 victory. Case Bull, no victories, not as developed as he is in real life. Just 1 year on from this game, Case Bull has won a stage at the Tour de France in a sprint. He was supposed to be the lead-out man. Michael Matthews, who he was leading out, got into a crash just a handful of kilometers before the end and was out of contention. It was 2K before the end as they were fighting for those positions moving up. And so, Case Bull, team told him, hey, Matthews is down. It's yours. Go for it. And he won. It was crazy. And he's really making a name for himself in this year's Tour de France. He's been in and around it quite a few times. Sjoerd van Ginneken, 1 victory. Brecht Wachtendorf at least earned some points this season as a leadout guy. Ian Garrison also picked up a few points. The only one not to score any points this year, but a favorite of mine, George Simpson. Those last 3 guys all being domestiques. Garrison's gone, Van Hemlen's gone. I don't remember if anybody else is gone. Let me see. Contract. Van Hemlen going to Quickstep. Told you he'll be a good domestique at a higher level, or they'll put him in breaks. But they're going to pay him a whole lot more money, and he was on that minimum contract for us. And yeah, it's just the 2, and they both signed contracts. Garrison going to Illuminate. Final standings for us. One thing, we finished 36th in the team table and pretty much in the middle of the Continental Pro teams. A little bit backwards. I'd like to have actually been middle or above, but next season I hope we can start making a push towards World Tour status, but financially speaking, that's what's holding us back. We are really low on budget compared to other teams, and it's going to require a larger budget if we're going to crack the World Tour. In terms of competitiveness, we're the top scoring team in Continental this year. Both Continental rankings and Super Prestige rankings. And we scored ahead of Trek, Segafredo, and EF Education, and UAE. So 3 World Tour teams were behind us by the end of the season. That is a very good season. In terms of the Gaming Decathlon, that's 439 points. Just drop the last digit, divide by 10, out of 1,000. So far from a max score. But of course, if we're talking about what does it take to get 1,000 points in the game, well, look at who the top team is. Quickstep. Deceuninck Quickstep in real life now this year. That would be a 953 score. So that's still shy of 1,000, and that's why I think this is a perfect balance. I've checked a few seasons, and this is what I came to. And it's certainly possible if we were truly dominant. But at an individual level, Nairo Quintana, something I never thought I would see. A handful of years ago I thought I would see, but certainly not today, not now, not how he's been in this Tour de France or in any of the recent ones. I mean, he's had a slew of number 2s, but that dominance that he had then, we've seen nothing of the sort since. He barely beats out Tom Dumoulin. And then a huge drop to Chris Froome and Geraint Thomas, neck and neck between the 2. That's Geraint Thomas with Quickstep, by the way. Enric Mas, Peter Sagan, Vincenzo Nibali, Primoz Roglic, Ivan Sosa, and Caleb Ewan are your top 10. Roglic overtaking Sosa here in the final month of the season, and Simon Yates making a big jump up to 12th. Namveri and Pascalon were your top guys here, with Veldeman in 3rd, Conchi 5th, Jesus Herrada. A little surprising he didn't win it. And then Barguil in 8th. In terms of victories, Alex Frame of a Continental team took the most wins this year. Nairo Quintana took 19. Geraint Thomas 14. Dumoulin 13, Philipsen 13, Ewan had 12, Marcel Kittel, and I'm nowhere near that list. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time as we start a new season. Bye for now.